Good evening, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful time. It's right about 5 p.m. on Sunday, March 8th, 2026, and let's cut to the chase. I win. 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 I am a boss and I win. That's just dialogue for a video game about, um, don't fuck with me. Yeah, I decided to go live for a little celebration for my birthday. This is called acting. I am practicing acting intimidating. Um, Things I'm fond of saying, since I'm a writer, and I like to write horror stories about, bad guys doing bad things. Doesn't matter what you actually say. It's practicing the menacing that matters. So, if there's grass on the field, play ball. You ever heard that? Were you ever a 12-year-old female child and a guy who maybe looks like me, or maybe a white guy version of me? Anyone like that ever look you up and down and say, old enough to bleed is old enough to breed? Are those real sentences that grown men said while they looked at you like you were meat as a child? I'm making art about the bad guy. And I have to get in character and think from the perspective of a bad guy to do that. The doy. It's fun. If you've never been a minuscule person who was constantly being told that you're so small and so vulnerable that everyone's just gonna rape and murder you, you might not understand why I think it's hilarious to literally put my toes up against a huge dude's toes. You do not want to fuck with me. And then watch them go, no, you're right, I don't. And then just back the fuck away. I never, no, very rarely do I ever threaten physical violence against anyone at all. I don't do that. I do paperwork. I just, here you go, documentation, documentation, documentation. I will extract vengeance legally through the systems that have been being used to threaten, stalk, harass, and abuse me. I just can and will. I already am. I already have. I just can do that. Because, I am this way because of systemic racism and domestic violence. I will just not stop trying to help fix that fucking system because it destroyed me psychologically. And I just insist upon protecting others from harm? That? What kind of bad guy? Oh, the redeemed kind who wants other people to just be less bad to each other. Could you just be less bad? If be excellent to each other is too hard right now, can we try for less bad? I'm a psychologist. I love the Joker. I love like that, and honestly, that is thought. That is effort. It looks like demon horns. You should see like the things I can do with like the muscles in my forehead. Like honestly, there are times where I'm like, I should just go live surrounded entirely by deaf people. I should just go find a deaf city. 'Cause they won't give a shit. They will understand he's clearly in distress and talking to himself, and they'll leave me alone. I had this beautiful video that I don't know if I have it anymore. I just I finally let myself I don't cry on camera. I hope that's for me. It's very rare that I allow tears to show on camera. But I had this rant. I was giggling and laughing, and I think it was in a hotel room while Chris was in the hospital, and I had the kitten. I was giggling and laughing and talking about just like the ridiculousness of how much I have to say to get to the point of what I'm trying to say. Like, I keep telling that story about Muhammad Ali being interviewed for a reason. They would ask him a question, and he'd say a bunch of stuff. And then they would just ask another question and let him say more stuff. And then when he finally answered the first question, they would edit back. They'd be like, here's the question. Okay, find the answer. There's the answer, so that it looked like he was having coherent interviews. His brain was scrambled from getting punched in the head. But they did the editing work to make it readable for the readers. Or viewable for the viewers. I can't learn the editing. It's too difficult. The looking at the screen is too hard. My eyes are old. I'm to the point where I have to take my glasses off to be able to look at things. I cannot learn to edit the software while I'm also recording all of this material. Like, I actually wrote books. People kept asking me to write books. I wrote books. While I was in jail, I wrote books. They took all of it. I finally got it all nice and neat and tidy. It was sorted. I was ready to because like having to go back and reread the really well-worded versions that I've actually managed to write on paper on the back of complaint forms and item request forms, the weird shit. Like, I was writing performance reviews for the guards, rating them on how they were interacting with me and all this other shit, and telling them, no, I'm like writing training materials to make your job safer. And they sent me to a psych hospital after 2 months, saying that I was delusional because I thought I had a fucking master's degree. I was talking about how I was conducting research on them. They said I was delusional, thinking that this was like a research. I'm like, I am telling you. I'm trying to put together a project to take to Harvard University to like I want to do my PhD in neurolinguistics or something related to like dementia, and I got the ability to speak English coherently back after I couldn't speak English coherently for a month. Like, it was just coming out wrong and jumbled, and then I started learning ASL, and I can just do it again, and I found it's a good physical therapy thing for people who type. Like, I've just been running around like just dispensing the wisdom that I got out of going completely insane. The phone, the tablet, all of this together are collection of accessibility devices for communication disabilities that I very obviously have and have always had. I'm not allowed to use my phone while I sit in the courtroom. I've made a very, very fucking clear case at this point. The courts and the police departments themselves, systemically, the way the laws are written, the way the laws are enforced, my own case, my own records demonstrates clearly they need to be reformed to accommodate the reality of mental health in the United States right now. Because I'm sorry, it is cruel. It is cruel and unusual punishment to lock a homeless person in a hospital or a jail for behaving erratically in public when we don't have a private to process our emotions in. That is just cruelty. That is just cruelty. We do not have a private place in which to sort through our private thoughts. So we get locked up in a place where we have absolutely no freedom or privacy, still no privacy, in which to process out the feelings that make us want to hurt other people. And like the fact that it's the people that are sitting and yelling at demons and not fucking bothering you are managing their own emotions and not fucking bothering you. Like, there was one time, like, I tried to cut my own eye out in a psych hospital in San Diego. I gave them a half a broken wooden spoon and showed them the wound in my eye because I just couldn't make myself do it. So I was just digging around and had scratches in my eye socket. I set the spoon down on the night desk and I said, I can't do this. I just can't. Please, I need help. I refuse to cut my own fucking eye out. I can't. And I just gave them the half of a broken spoon. They sent me back to bed. They did not ask where the other half of that spoon was. And they released me in the morning. I wandered out crazy as hell, had no idea where I was. I lived in an apartment in Rancho Penasquitos 92129. They just dumped me out on a sidewalk, crazy and gibbering, no idea what the fuck was going on. I had told them I was hallucinating wildly and had tried to cut my own eye out. That was the first night that I remember television clear as day. Nope, that one is threatening me. That television is talking to me. That is a sniper, and he is threatening me. I had never had that experience before then, and they just let me go. Kept asking me over and over again what my stuffed elephant's name was, and for some reason, I was paranoid. I was like, he doesn't have a name. Why do you keep asking? Like, all these weird, like, these are just very specific weird details, right? If you want to make it just a fictional story, fine, right? This is a fictional story. I'm giving you tons of detail for a reason. It's difficult for me to write it down. I prefer to tell. I love telling my stories. So yeah, I'm gonna start going live again. Just keep telling stories, because, hey, Susie, are you actively watching? I'm doing great. The music therapy thing is going great. I got a room of my own now, because one of the, like, that's the thing, is it like I say I'm doing these things, and people are like, oh, that's so cool, I wish I could do that. That seems like a cool idea. And I'm like, I'm just doing these things. People are like, oh, I have this dream of, like, doing this thing, and I want to do this thing, and I'm like, hey, I'm doing that thing. I said I wanted to live in my van and drive around the country and have different places where I can I just got a bedroom here. I can hang out here. This guy needs help around the house. Help him out around the house. Get bored here, go over there. Get bored there, go over there. I'm house number 2. Instead of kill myself for my birthday this year, I'm just gonna enjoy being alive. This is just what I've been doing. And I'm not gonna stop because the police are proving my point. Like, my lawyer is advising me that I shouldn't talk about the things that are happening in my active cases because it might be used against me in court. No. I'm just building more evidence. Because if I stop now, that looks guilty. Right? Because, yeah, the police tried to use the fact that as of whenever they wrote that obviously falsified report, that as of October 1st, I was showing no signs of emotional attachment to the cat because I had stopped posting on the page that they were using as evidence against me in court. And also I was in hospitals and jail most of that time. I suddenly stopped posting after someone who I had just told about my social media presence decided to call the police that I had accused of being used as a tool of harassment. I told this woman all about it. I mean, that's evidenced by the fact that she called them. Like, the fact that this woman called Weymouth is the evidence that what I'm saying is just true. I told her what was going on with me and Weymouth, and she decided to call them and get involved. So go ahead and prove my fucking point some more. I told you, I am being harassed by white people using the police to terrorize me. This one used the police to steal my cat. And then when I wouldn't let her keep her, she made up a story. That's just obvious from your own fucking paperwork. Like, I'm disappointed in you. Like, you're genuinely just disappointed, Jen. Like, just human being to human being. I'm so disappointed in you. Yeah, partway through that rant, I realized, hey, Jen, are either your parents alive? Or was I, channeling a ghost just then? Anyone else you know who might be dead and disappointed in you? Did you need a good cathartic cry today? I hope you get one. That's a gift. People don't realize what they're doing a lot of the time when they do. They think they are acting in the best interests of others when they do things that are just the wrong thing to do. Sometimes people make mistakes because they think that they are correct, and they are stubborn because it hurts their feelings. It wounds their pride. It threatens their ego to have to admit they were wrong about something. Is that delicate enough for you? Jen and Kelsey, am I speaking softly and kindly enough for you to understand my concerns are for your safety, not from me? So yeah, I was sitting in the doorway of my van with my left knee under my right ankle. It's a weird way to describe it, isn't it? Lateral shift on the sides of the body. I think from right to left normally. For some reason I was thinking left to right. My right knee on my left right ankle on my left knee. Linda came running down the ramp. Pair of scissors in her hand. I just wasn't doing anything. And we were choreographing, but it was not scripted. That's just how every situation I lived through, we are choreographing, but I didn't script it. Because other people just behave around me. And I remember how it went. She ran down the ramp at me and stopped on the other side of Ames, brandishing the scissors and yelling. And I said, Ames, what are you gonna do? Because this might be the moment. And I didn't take my ankle off my knee. I just put both arms out to the sides like this. I just said, if you're going to kill me, just kill me. She danced around, and Ames stood with arms straight out, hand out, in between us. And I just sat there with my arms up and was like, if this is the moment, then this is the moment. I'll die outside, half in my own home. Been saying for years, that's my home. And if I'm gonna be murdered for trying to recover from a nervous breakdown, like just imagine. There's a reason I keep talking about how I come from a military family. And specifically do not say that I was ever a member of the military. Like, I have been hanging out with homeless veterans. Trying so hard. To help them survive another day. And to tell their stories and make my own life feel worth living. But there's my Facebook feed keeps showing me clips from Invisible People. I don't have the ability to actually house anyone, but I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing in-depth conversations about myself. I started posting. I have one interview that I did with someone else previously. But I like a lot of the interactions I have, there's a lot of people that they film themselves going out and finding homeless people to give money and give things to. And some people will criticize that you're just doing that to be performative and you don't do that when the cameras aren't rolling. I just do that. I am homeless and I just do that. I did that before I was homeless. I do that while I am homeless. People who are posting videos of themselves doing that are proving that people actually do that. They're not just being performative. They're doing the thing. Because I don't record it. But I do it all the time. And then other bitter, cynical, jaded people are like, nobody does that. You're just doing that because you're recording it. They're doing it to prove that they do it. So that other people will be like, no, he's right. If you pay into the social contract, I do good for the world because I expect the world is just going to do good for me. Confirmation bias. I go towards that area is known for helping people when they are in need. I paid in to getting helped. I don't feel bad about getting helped. I worked really fucking hard to never, ever, ever have to feel bad about getting helped. I had a nervous breakdown before the age of 40. I worked so hard. As soon as I could legally work for my own money, I got a job. Worked 2 or 3 jobs, like for most of my adult life, while going to college to get a better job. So much happier this way. I'm so much happier. And the thing is, I'm doing the same or better caliber of work by going out on the sidewalk and talking to random crazy people. I am doing at least as good caliber, and by recording the videos and posting them and talking about the experience online, I am capable of putting out so much more valuable material than I could ever do benefit by sitting down one by one, family by family. It's why people write self-help books. I could just, like, that's the thing, is that, like, I said this to someone in Fenway Health. I explained, like, what I do and why and how and all that. And I was basically like, I go to people's hoarder houses and help them figure out, why are you like this? And while they work on that, let me figure out how to sort your belongings. So that, like, this is just garbage. These look like they might be keepsakes. Like, I've done hoarder houses. I've lived in hoarder houses so much. Other people's messes are just comfortable for me to live in. So I literally, as an in-home family therapist, that's my one job that I got after I got my master's degree, was in-home family therapist. I literally was like, okay, I worked in the residential programs, which, I'm sorry, like, working for 16 hours a day, 4 or 5 days a week. I lived in the residential programs as a matron with the children. Let's think about it that way. I basically lived there, caring, like, full-time caring, not just like watching someone's kids, caring and raising other people's children who had severe emotional problems to the point where they'd been removed from their families by DCF and put in that house. That was how I looked at that job. I'm the adult in charge. I am responsible for guiding these children's behavior. I just was an uncle. That was how I approached the job, was I'm just an uncle. And my job is to be here and, like, play games with them and get them food and get them, like, you gotta take a shower and let me help you with their homework. My job is to be a good uncle. And also do a bunch of paperwork. Okay, I can just do that. So I did that. And I was really good at it. And while we were doing that, I was like, we're teaching these kids all these great skills here in the program. We need to be fixing the family, though. Like, we need to go home with the family and, like, teach them the skills so that, like, when the kid goes home, they're not going home to the same broken environment. And then I got out of my master's degree program, and I, applied to a bunch of different places. And the one place that I actually interviewed for, um, it was exactly the job I was saying. I want that job. Was I wanted to go into the family home and work with the entire family as a unit around the support needs of that identified client, because I understand that dynamic so well. I was the problem child. That I was I was the problem. If we've got a problem in the family, make Dylan go to fucking therapy about it. We have a problem, make Dylan go to therapy. So I was like, I will go to therapy. I, like everybody else, you just be the quiet kid, and I will just take on all of the everybody hates me. Heather was exhausted. Taking care of her 3 younger siblings. Jim's a piece of shit, and now nobody wants him around. There's one of my siblings gone. And Pete, I was like, that's the thing, I'm so few memories. Like, I don't remember Pete in South Middle School at all. I remember, like, passing him in the hallway once or twice at Ranger High. I do not have, like, any memories of my younger brother in school during the school days. We were in different grades. I have no memory of interacting with him during the school days. I have tons of memories of him at home. I do not have any memories of interacting with my younger brother in school. Or my older brother. Did Jim and I actually go to school together at any point? I have memories of interacting with my sister in my freshman year because she was a senior and I was a freshman. And her biology class was the same teacher as me immediately before me. So we always had an opportunity to interact. Like, she would stay extra long to make sure she took time to interact with me. Because, as I keep trying to say, I was one of those kids that was constantly warning people that I was concerned that I was going to become violent because of the bullying that was going on in my school. I was very open and vocal about it for a reason. There are reasons is the short name of the book I've been saying for years I'm writing. There are reasons I wasn't allowed to speak at my mother's funeral is the full fucking title. That's so long compared to The Iliad, Mein Kampf, The Wall, like how just books I've read. There are reasons, all in capitals, there are reasons I wasn't allowed to speak at my own mother's funeral. All in good time. All in good time. Come from a military family, don't ask, don't tell, blah, 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 blah. Trauma, trauma, trauma. I started looking myself in the eye and got scared. I've forgotten what I was saying. Good thing I can download this video and remember what happened. Immediately before, my mind went blank because I was startled by my own face. Yeah, on behalf of military veterans and their children. Someone's actually watching. I couldn't fucking speak. I can still sign really slow. So yeah, I was walking around recording things where I was referring to myself as Uncle Critter Dylan, giggling at bushes. There we go. Now I'm laughing because, yeah, someone is actively watching. I have no idea who it is because I can't see with my glasses off. I've been complaining about how I'm being harassed for making art projects and using the internet to do so. Yeah, no, I do not like being watched by a live audience.